Yo, what's up, guys? Still a little bit awkward with the whole getting back into video making. But anyways, I don't want to make this intro too long. Basically, my plan for this video, what was supposed to happen, was this was supposed to be a super dope live cook-up. Camera's got to be more like that. No, not like that. First time doesn't always go well, and it didn't go well. It was the most atrocious musical composition I've made in my entire life. I just decided we'll do a little beat breakdown. You know, I am trying to move in a new direction and move towards like the alternative rock indie scene. I figured this would be a pretty good beat to cover because a little free shameless promo. I'm getting back into the type beat game and I am selling beats. So if you are somehow an artist on this channel, I don't know why you'd be watching this video, but if you are, click the link in the description. Most of my beats have been sitting at around 100 views, which is pretty typical for a new type beat channel, but this one beat in particular that I'm going over is going to be probably at around 1,000 views by the time this video is up. So what that tells me is people think it's dope. However, Barack Obama, he says it's not even post-punk. So I don't know, you guys can be the judge of that. Yeah, I'm gonna stop blabbering on for the intro. Let's just go ahead and break this beat down. That was not pleasant at all. Okay, so, damn, I'm rusty, bro. Where do I start? So yeah, let's start with the drums. I'm just gonna go ahead and play you guys the drums as they are. You can get a feel for it, and then I'm gonna break them down. So this is pretty basic. It's nothing too complicated. With post-punk and indie, specifically with this kind of bounce, it's always annoying that I have to do this in the videos and like make a fool out of myself, but you gotta go for the bounce that's like unfortunately, that is the best way I could describe it. So this drum pattern was actually inspired by the song Disorder by Joy Division. You can probably hear the inspiration in the way that I made like the repeating snare hits, but this is what the snares sound like isolated. Typically, they would sound more like this. I wanted it to be a little bit different. I wanted to go for a bit of an interpolation vibe, so that was heavily inspired. Then I threw in the kick, which, you know, is very much just to accent the snare, and it's gonna sound like this. I'm really just clicking it in, getting a vibe going. I'm not doing anything too crazy. And then to finish this beat off, I basically threw in this counter snare. And then another counter snare that is going to sound like this. And yeah, that's really gonna do it for the drums on this track. If you're going for these like post-punk alternative indie vibes, whether or not Barack Obama tells you that it is the appropriate genre,
this shit is ass gang 100 emoji.
You know, the core of post-punk bounce is that, you know, the whole that's what's gonna make it what it is. Now for these drums, I used the LMG Made It Essential Rock Kit. Everybody who makes alternative post-punk, stuff like that, they already know the kit. If you don't know it somehow, I'll leave it linked down below. I do want to say though, I'm making a drum kit too. It's not ready yet, it's not done, so I can't really include it in this video. Didn't mean to start playing that. Super excited to get that out. But for the time being, if you guys are looking for some crazy alternative rock kits, this is the only one pretty much. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the loop. I want to quickly preface this before I even break down the loop. You guys heard the preview beat at the beginning of this video. If you liked the way the loop sounds, I'm gonna leave a link down below, and I'm actually gonna give you guys this loop for free. If you guys want to flip this sample, make your own indie beats, do whatever you want to do with it. Key and BPM labeled, stems included, free loop that I break down in this video. Go ahead and get that. I started the beat with this very simple repetitive guitar pattern that sounds like this. Post-punk genre is very great for beginner guitar players because it's a lot of, you know, melody stacking. As you can hear, what did I play? 2 notes here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not a guitar virtuoso at all. I just have a lot of production experience, so I'm pretty good at like piecing together those, you know, puzzle pieces and creating something that feels, you know, full out of little bits and pieces. And that's really the bread and butter of like alternative post-punk beats. I'm gonna pull up my guitar real quick so I could remember the tabs for anybody who has a guitar and is interested in that. So it's 2nd string 5th fret and 2nd string 6th fret. That's it. I fucked it up. As for the mixing and processing, first of all, I made a stereo. Typically, like the main element of my beat, I'll make stereo. The guitar that I was recording ran through Guitar Rig. If you guys don't have Guitar Rig, that's basically my go-to for guitar presets. But there is a free version of Guitar Rig with like, I don't know, 50 presets, like a very good bank of presets that you can get started, you know, making guitar melodies. I'm using this preset called Left Alone. Then I added a good amount of fruity reverb. I bumped the decay and the size up, and then I added a fruity delay with the ping pong preset. That's personally my favorite preset to use because it does that ping pong delay effect without having to create it yourself. I turned the mix down to 25% on the delay, and yeah, that's how I created the first sound in this melody. I want to let you guys know, if you are a person recording an instrument into FL Studio, I was super confused about this, but you know, if you're recording with an instrument, you obviously need an audio interface. In the audio tab, you have this little thing right here called buffer length. Now, if you just got your, you know, little audio interface and you're used to like crazy delay, whether you were trying to record your voice or whatever, yeah, the default FL Studio delay is bad. It's like unusably bad. You'll probably make the mistake I did, which is seeing this button right here and being like, oh, well, yeah, I'm gonna go for the lowest buffer size. I'm gonna go for 16. Why wouldn't I? Because, you know, I want that 1 millisecond delay. I want to really be immersed. Be careful, because I want you to listen to this melody. Right there. If you hear that crackling, that is not me being bad at playing the guitar, although I'm not great. That's just the recording completely breaking my computer. Definitely do not go for the lowest possible buffer length and latency. I personally have a completely okay time with 256 SMP, which creates a 6 millisecond delay. To me, that is borderline unnoticeable, and my computer does not completely shit its pants when I'm recording, so definitely a mistake you want to avoid. All right, so from here, really, we're just, you know, building upon the melody that we already have. So I'm going to introduce this little counter melody that comes in for the verse. It's going to sound like this. Yo, what's up, guys? I just wanted to quickly interrupt this video and let you know that if you are enjoying it, it would be greatly appreciated if you left a like, and if you like the beat I'm breaking down in this video, and you want to have an easier time creating alternative rock instrumentals, go ahead and click the link in the description to get my hardware alternative rock toolkit. It has close to 200 sounds. It's got bass lines, bass one shots, guitar one shots, guitar accents and phrases. It's even got portal pedal emulators. It's got Guitar Rig presets. It's crazy, it's stacked, but I don't want to talk your ear off. You guys can go ahead and check that out if you want. Let's get back into the video. So I'm going to be recording this in a different mixer track. I am putting this through of course I'm putting it through FL Studio, bro. What am I saying? Okay, so I am running it through Guitar Rig. It is the space delay preset. Then I'm running it through an EQ. This is like the telephone EQ effect, where you take a lot of the high and the low end out, and it sounds like it's coming through like a telephone or a VHS tape. I made it mono, and then I panned it 53% to the right. You definitely want to utilize panning when you're making any kind of alternative rock, indie-based beat. When you're doing some trap stuff, it's not always essential, but this is very much at the core of like rock-based production. But anyways, we have one part left to our guitar, and that is going to be this track right here. Processing for this, I basically ran it through something. I ran it through Guitar Rig, and I used this Flanger Ramfire Pro preset, which created this really cool, you know, dissonant distortion sound. And then there's the EQ that I was talking about that I would typically do, taking a lot of low end out. I made this stereo, and then what I basically did is I, you know, highlighted this little section, and I clicked Control-Alt-C so that I could export it into my beat and save some CPU power. I also did this because, as far as I'm aware, you can't pan things with Guitar Rig. Well, you can, but you can only do it in the mixer track. You can't like take your audio file and like double click it and pan it. If anybody knows the fix for that, let me know. But I basically rerouted it to this channel. I made it stereo, and I turned the volume way down because I really wanted this to sit in the background. And then we're going with a fruity parametric EQ. We're doing that telephone EQ, basically just dragging the top and bottom like so. I added a reverb with a ton of decay and size. What I've experienced is you could pretty easily just drown it in like size and decay, and you'll be good. I'm using that ping pong delay effect once again, and I am turning the mix down to 25%. And then we have another EQ taking low end out once again, because I really just want this to sit in the background. And then the last thing I'm doing is I'm pasting it twice in the track. I'm making one of them unique by clicking this little waveform in the top left. I don't know why I'm doing this right now. Make unique. I'm taking one of them and I'm panning them 40% to the left. I'm taking another and I'm panning them 40% to the right. If you're looking to create space and really widen the atmosphere of your alternative rock instrumentals, this is the way to do it. I was watching some like Deftones beat tutorial and someone left some like snarky comment that was like, "This is not a beat. This is an instrumental." Commenters sometimes are so odd to me, bro. Like, it's just a word. It's just a word. It's an instrumental, it's a composition, it's a beat, it's a fucking, who cares, really? Sorry, tangent aside, yeah, if you want to create space in your beat, this is the way to do it. That's gonna finish off the guitar parts of this beat, and now we're gonna wrap up the sample itself with the bass, which is gonna sound like this. I actually think I might have started this beat with the bass because it reminds me of I think In Bloom, I think is the Nirvana song I'm thinking of that it kind of reminds me of. But yeah, basically I make my bass mono. I just watched this like project file breakdown for Territorial Pissing by Nirvana. Personally, that's like one of my favorite songs of all time, and the track said bass mono. So I just make all my basses mono. I don't know if that's correct. I'm running this through Guitar Rig using the maxed bass preset. Guitar Rig has some really fire bass presets, and then I'm running an EQ where I'm boosting a little bit of the 200 hertz and I'm boosting a little bit of the 1k hertz. For anybody who is new to rock production, don't be afraid of EQs. EQs are your friend. Just don't take too much out. For anybody who's confused, they're like, what do you mean 100 hertz, 200 hertz? What does that mean? Just look at this little thing down at the bottom. That's what the hertz mean. And yeah, that's the whole sample done. So what I'm gonna do now, guys, is I'm gonna quickly go over the structuring. I'm not gonna go too in depth about it because I'm gonna make a whole video about structuring in the future. To put it very simply, a beat has an intro and an outro, and then in between those two, they have verses, choruses, and then pre-whatever. The verse is gonna be the part where there's less instrumentation. That's gonna give the artist room to breathe. This is typically the non-repetitive part of the song where, you know, each time a verse hits, the artist has something different to say. Then we have the chorus. That is the big, you know, eventful, repetitive part of the song where you typically have all of your elements of your beat playing. This is where the artist is going to do their hook. I used to just call it the hook, but I call it the chorus too now. Yeah, that's basically the catchy part of the song that plays multiple times within the track, and it's the same every single time. And then you have a pre-chorus or a pre-verse. That's basically up to you if you want to put a little section in your beat that kind of just builds hype for the verse or the chorus. 16 bars of an intro. I have 16 bars of a verse, 16 bars of a chorus. Then we're gonna go verse, chorus, verse, bridge thing, and then an outro. So you'll notice this is not perfectly aligning with these little tabs that I have at the top of my FLP. Most verses and choruses are going to be 16 bars. Most sections of your beat are going to be 16 bars. Sometimes the chorus or verse doubles and it's like 32. Same deal with the intro and outro, but that's just like a general structuring guide made easy. All right, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, don't. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day or night. Peace.